Okay, so you mentioned that the hard part is figuring out what to do on the end parts, or the endpoints of these. Something to note down here, be sure to include closed or open dots, but only at breaks in the graph. So I'm gonna get everything graphed and then I'll go back and do the open or closed dots, but only at those breaks. So for this first part, we want to graph y equals 5, which is a horizontal line through 5, but only for x values that are less than or equal to -2. So that one's going to be this ray where it has one endpoint and then goes forever the other direction. And we're going to start at -2 and then just have that going off to -infinity. For this next one, let's see. So -2, if we plug that in there, that would be -2 times -2 would be 4 plus 1 would make 5. So that's why I didn't want to put that dot there yet, because this may intersect and I only want these at the breaks in the graph. This is going to be on a closed interval, so I want to use this one that has endpoints. And we decided that started at 5. And you can throw the 1 in here and get -2 times 1 is -2 plus 1 is -1. Or you could just use the slope. Or you could also use that y-intercept there. So you can go over 1 and down 2. Or just when you know your starting point, you know your y-intercept as well. So lots of ways to get that one graphed. And then lastly, we're going to have y equals 0, so that's a horizontal line that runs along the x-axis because that's where y is 0. But that's only for when x is greater than 1. So we're going to start here at 1, and then we'll have our line going that way. Okay, so now that we got all the lines in there, now I got to figure out where to put the dots and the holes. So I don't need one here because of this thing. It's only at breaks in the graph. So I just have to figure out these two spots. So here when x was, oops, and I just realized I graphed that at 1. I didn't mean to do that. That should be right there. When x is, when y equals 0, when x is, it's for greater than 1 rather than equals 1. So that one's going to be a hole. So put the hole right there. And then on this one, notice how when it equals 1 on this one, so that's the one that gets the dot. And that goes right there. So do all your graphs first, and then graph the hole and the dot.